Good evening. My name is Brightops, and welcome to Mordheim, City of the Damned. I don't plan for this to be a long video, since I want it to be more of an introduction of myself and this series than anything else. I feel it is only proper that I give it a brief rundown to the setting and the various races/warbands that we will be getting to choose from. I will say up front that this will largely be bare-bone explanation, since the lore behind Warhammer Fantasy is rather in-depth, and if you're watching this video, there is a good chance that you're already somewhat familiar with it. However, on the off chance that you've never heard of Warhammer Fantasy before, I'll try and capture the spirit of the setting and the various factions to give you a basic idea of what's going on. At its simplest, the Warhammer Fantasy world is what mid to late medieval Europe would have looked like if magic, fantasy races, inhuman monsters, demons and gods actually existed. Considering Warhammer's grimdark setting, it is not a pleasant place to live at the best of times, but all across the world you'll find special little pocket hellscapes like Mordheim. Once a prosperous human city of great wealth, renown, and infamy, Mordheim was struck by a twin-tailed comet in what many consider an act of God, though exactly what the message was meant to convey depends largely on what god you worship. The end result is the same regardless of the hand that did it. The crashing of the comet killed most of the population of Mordheim, twisting many of the survivors into mutants or driving them completely insane. Normally both. The comet also caused a great weakening between reality and the spirit world, better known in the Warhammer setting as the Warp, not only condemning the ruins of the sea to be haunted by mundane ghosts and spectres, but also allowing demons to freely walk the streets. Mordheim is a haunted, demon-infested ruin that blights the world around it that would have been forsaken by the world at large if it wasn't for its two redeeming qualities. The first is that as it was once an incredibly wealthy city, much of that wealth remains despite its current condition. And not just in mundane treasures like gold either. Great sources of knowledge and objects of historical, religious, and magical power, sometimes all three at once, were hoarded in Mordheim before the comet struck, free for anyone with the skill and bravery to risk the dangers to claim for their own ends. The second is due to the comet itself. Made up of a substance called Weirdstone, the ruins of the city is littered with this stuff. Magic users of all walks of life and more mundane alchemists quickly discovered via experimentation that Weirdstone... I'm sorry, I'm going to probably be butchering that name. It's difficult to spell and pronounce, is insanely potent when it comes to the magical arts and can be used in a wide variety of ways, from being able to regrow lost limbs to turning base metals into gold. And that is merely scratching the surface of what it can do. As you can imagine, demand for Weirdstone is rather high. Now let's take a look at who's actually going into Mordheim to get the stuff. Starting from our left, we have the Witch Hunters. Zealous followers of the god Sigma who have been endorsed by their church. While they view the comet as a divine punishment for Mordheim's various sins, the Weirdstone itself is considered a blessed gift that rightfully belongs to the church, since they are the only ones whom can properly bless it and remove its harmful taint. While they are largely there for the stones, they're not going to pass up the chance to burn the heretic, the demon, the monster, or those unworthy of claiming the stones for less divine purposes. Our second pick of our 6 choices, are human mercenaries. Sponsored by a noble patron, these gentlemen of fortune are here for the same thing that unites them as a warband: profit and fame. Mordheim offers both, provided of course you can survive long enough to claim it. Fairly easy to understand, really. The Sisters of Sigma are a religious order that were based in Mordheim when the comet dropped, but managed to survive the doom of the city unscathed. This has of course gotten them branded as witches and heretics by the rest of the Church of Sigma, due to a belief that their survival was the result of darker powers rather than the blessing of Sigma himself. The sisters fight to clear their name, as well as lock the Wordstone away so that its corrupting taint cannot spread or be used by those with dark intentions. And speaking of dark intentions, we move on to the cult of the possessed. Followers of the Chaos Gods who have either made the journey to Mordheim, or were locals who were twisted and mutated into service, they seek personal power and the blessings of their dark gods over anything else, for the weak and the sane do not survive for long. Moving on to the servants of another dark god, we have the Skaven. The Skaven are one of the oldest races in the Warhammer world, even if the individual lifespan of the average Skaven isn't that long. Servants of the Great Horned Rat, the Skaven have long known of Wordstone, long before the other races knew of it. It is a cornerstone of their society and is used for just about everything, from a currency and powering their machinery to magical rituals and biological experimentation. Wordstone is more than enough reason to risk Mordheim, but being successful also raises the wealth and standing of those who return to the underground cities of the Skaven. Last, but by no means least, we have the undead. Count Vlad von Carstein is the vampiric ruler of Sylvania, one of the major provinces of the human empire and one of the highest ranked nobles in said empire. But with the imperial throne empty and several of his rival counts fighting to become emperor, now seems like a good time to move up in the world. Led by a vampire, the undead warband has been sent to Mordheim to gather Wordstone to send back home to empower their master's rituals, and earn a respectable place in the New World Order he plans to create in the process. 6 different warbands to pick from, but only one can be selected for this series. While I'm happy to play as any of them, I decided that having some viewer interaction wouldn't be a bad idea. Not only am I happy to name members of the chosen warband after followers, but I'll post a poll in the description to see just what warband you actually want me to play. I will try to customize characters so that they look different, but Mordheim's customization options are somewhat limited. I will, however, take requests for color schemes and what kind of gear you want them to be wearing and I will do my best to make that happen. Until next time, my name is Brightops, and I look forward to hearing from you all.